It says there's no sound.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay,
Can you
look.
hear us now?
Hey, what's up? Like I said, hey y'all, it's February. That word is so difficult to describe, to
Yes.
pronounce. Hey, I'm Mike. This lovely, incredible, beautiful woman is Wendy, and you are in the marriage shop. Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you,
So
Shelly.
I was saying the last time we saw you was in December, and we said this is our last one for the year, and we would see you guys in 2025. So here we are, 2025, and we have been, man, here, there, and everywhere in the month of January.
Yeah.
So February 1st, we're at home and we're glad to be with you. And Shelly Wilson, thank you for keeping us straight. Thank you for checking in on us. You guys, she like reached out. She sent us a card. She gave me a call. She sent a message like, what is
there
going
anybody
on?
out there?
Yes. So
So,
Lisa McNeil,
yeah.
Terrence Neal, Dana Jones Stokes, Stefan Moore Sr., Andrea Lewis. Thank you guys for
Yeah, what's
joining
up, y'all?
us. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow. Y'all just jumping on in here tonight. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Did I say Robert Harrell? Oh, Robert Harrell. Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
nah, that's what's up. And if
Yeah.
you saw if you saw that last December, was it December?
Yeah.
Episode of the Marriage Shop, you would know why our sound was double muted. But
Yeah.
it's too late.
Ooh.
You can't go back and watch it. It's already gone.
Oh
So
my goodness. But it was out there for a minute. And
yeah,
so, yeah. So Andrea says, can everyone hear? I don't know. Let us know if you can hear us
we
now.
we got one thumbs up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
good.
got two
Good.
thumbs
Yeah,
up.
when we started out, we had a little technical
Hey,
difficulty.
listen, y'all.
It's all
We're
good.
shaking off that ring rust,
I know, I
right
know.
after the holidays. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So, but we're glad, thankful to be back here with you. We missed you,
yeah,
and it's good to be back. So, I would love to say that we rested and we're refreshed and we're ready to go, but
yeah.
that's just not true.
I mean, rested, refreshed, ready to go. I mean, we at least two of those we are at any given time.
Okay, but not all
Yeah,
three.
but not all three. So
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
it is. All
Okay,
right.
good, good. So, what are we talking about today? Thanks, guys, for letting
Whoa,
us know.
whoa, baby! You
What?
just
That's
can't.
too much.
It's been so long. If you jump in like that, you mess around and pull a hammy or something. All
Okay,
right.
so
So
Happy
calm
New
down.
Year. How'd you guys
Yeah.
celebrate bringing in the new year? I'd love to hear it. How about that? Drop it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah,
Hey,
that'd be
Linda
great.
Tyson.
Hey, Linda.
Yes.
So
Okay, good.
yeah. So first, a couple of things. And of course.
Wait, I just asked the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go
Hey,
ahead.
Ashley Key. So
Ashley,
we're
what's
going to
up?
wait. Drop it in the chat. How'd you guys celebrate or bring in the new year? What'd you do in January? I mean, I know it's February 3rd, but,
Hmm.
we got to catch up. We have some
Yeah, I
catching
mean,
up to
it
do.
is way late to be talking about Happy New Year, but I will allow
It's
it.
not
I
because
will.
January flew by.
It
Anybody
did.
else feel like that? I
Hmm.
mean, on one hand, it was like it felt like there were like 6 months in January.
It did.
Like, and then on the other hand, it seemed like it flew by. So,
So yeah, and we had a wild year here in Georgia. In fact, some of you, down in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, even
mm-hmm.
some of you had a wild time as well. Like
Yeah.
because we had the hurricane, and that was different.
Mm-hmm.
Still have all kinds of effects of that. And then
Yes.
it snowed
Then it
like
snowed. Yeah.
twice. That never
Yeah.
twice
Yeah, that was
never
something.
happens.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, if you're in Atlanta, people, stop it, knock it off. If the if the temperature is going to be below freezing and there's any iota of a chance that there's going to be precipitation, please, y'all. Did we learn nothing in 2014? Get off the road. Stop it.
Andrea said quietly. Us too. We
Mm.
we brought it in quietly. I think. What did we do? Where were we?
I think we were here.
Were we here?
I don't know.
I don't even know what we did, but I think it was quiet. Oh, okay.
Ashley.
Ashley, it's never too late. I just took down my Christmas tree.
That's my
Ah!
that's my family, y'all. That is not at all unusual. And for those of you who take
Yes.
it off the day after Christmas or New Year's Day or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I want y'all to calm down a little bit. All right.
Yeah. Well,
But
I mean,
it's what?
yeah, yeah.
You know.
No, we still have we took all of our stuff down, but we still have a few items to put away.
Mhm.
But that's okay. I mean, it's your house. You could keep Christmas up year round if you wanted to.
You could, but I wouldn't recommend it. Anyway, because it's got
Yeah.
to be like fresh and new and like Christmas, not just
No, I mean, I
So
love the way it makes me feel. I mean, the
that's true.
house is all, there's stuff and
Mhm.
there's green, and it's like I'm bringing the outside in, like the
Yeah.
forest in the house. And remember one year, Oliver like peed under the tree, and they said that your cats might. There's a chance that your cat might pee under your Christmas tree because, especially if it's a live tree, because it reminds them of being out in the wild.
So
Just a point.
I'll simply say, first of all, Oliver is no longer with
She
us.
said when the spirit says
Two
so.
deuces to the sky for Oliver, but could have killed that cat, man.
Yeah,
Like
that was rough.
that was not good. So anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
so hey, congratulations actually on getting those Christmas
Yeah.
decorations down.
Uh-huh.
Also, I want to say congratulations to Daniel and Charity Sweet. We were
Yes.
in Jackson, Mississippi for a wedding. What has been is what just over a week ago actually.
Couple of
We
weeks.
were in
Yep.
Jackson and they got married. Some names are just really cool for certain purposes. So if you're doing a
Yes.
wedding,
Yeah.
Sweet, that's an awesome last. You can do a lot with that,
Yeah, you
and they
can.
did.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was
there was
amazing.
a sweet embrace and a sweet
And
celebration,
welcome to the
and
sweet life.
welcome to the sweet life.
Come on,
Yes,
come
yes. They
on.
had it going on. It was nice. It was nice.
Yeah,
And we were just honored to have gotten an invitation.
yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was cool. We
It
had a
was
good
it was
time.
really cool. Yeah, they did well.
They
They did
did
well.
well.
Had a
Yeah. So
blast.
really proud of them and praying for their marriage. Hey, David Tyson. Lisa says, don't keep Christmas up year round. People will definitely talk about you after mid January.
Yeah,
Well, I just want to have people in my
they'll talk about you lightly.
house.
They'll talk about you real strong. It's getting to February, they'll start really talking out loud about you. And
Yeah.
might mess around and call the HOA. Not sure.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's one of those things. I mean, and I think it would kind of lose a little bit of how special it is if you kept it up all the time.
right. So that's why you got to go. You know how I feel once, or what I feel once it's all over and everything's put away?
Mad.
Back pain. That's what I feel. Back pain, man. Woo.
Oh
Wow.
man, anybody else have a fight over every single Christmas? I mean, it was an ornament or a decoration. It was like, I mean, I was put on sanctions. Like every time I would get something on sale or bring something new in, it was just
Listen,
a
man.
whole experience. Anybody else have that? I'm
You
just
know what?
curious. I mean,
I mean, listen,
I think it's not just us.
it's like those gnomes you bought
Oh,
when
not the gnome.
when had babies, and it's like, how do we double our Christmas haul? How do we do that? How do we double the Christmas
The
decorations?
gnomes, the nutcrackers, all of it.
So
It's just fun.
anyway, some of y'all know what I'm talking about. So
Yes.
I'ma move on, though.
yes,
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So our intent is to be here every Monday night at 7. Most Mondays is what I started saying last year, but at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we hope that you'll join us. If we're going to be out of town like next week, we'll let you know in advance.
yeah, next week should be fine.
We should be fine.
We should
We
be
should
fine.
be back,
We'll be
barring
back.
any significant weather event.
Oh yeah. We'll be back, and then so there'll be a few. Okay, the upcoming few months, it'll be a little out of control. We'll explain what's going on.
Way out of control.
Yeah.
Oh, Lisa. See, I knew it. That's my sister. Oh,
Well,
and I can't even see it now.
I'm
I get
sorry.
in trouble every time I buy a new tree, even though I got them on clearance.
every
I know.
but see, look,
on clearance.
that's it right there. We're not. This is not the conversation tonight, but. I think you call. I told you. I'm
Hey,
like
Tammy
the
Shepherd.
price has nothing to do with whether or not we need this tree.
But if it's a quality item and it's something that you can just see where it goes in the space and it happens to be on clearance,
Yeah.
bonus.
Okay. I'm curious, Lisa. I think we might have asked this before the holiday, but we're not talking this. We're not filling this up with Christmas talk. I just want to know, Lisa, how many trees do you have? I'm just
Oh.
curious if you wouldn't mind putting in. It's none of my business, but if you wouldn't mind putting in the
Putting
chat,
it in
I'm
the
just
chat.
curious about
That's
that number.
funny.
How many trees?
Yeah, so last night we celebrated Tammy Shepherd's birthday, which
Yes.
is actually on February 6th, but we had a good time. with the Shepherd family. Thank you
Yeah.
for including us, inviting us. It was great. So happy 60th to you. You don't
Yeah.
look a day over 25.
Seriously. So yeah, thank you.
Seriously.
It was a great time. I always enjoy hanging out with the
Yes.
Shepherds.
Yes.
So yeah, really cool family.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All
And
right.
all right. So are you ready?
I guess
What are
I'm
we talking
ready.
about?
What are we talking about tonight?
Tonight we're talking about change, man. We're talking about transition.
Okay,
I
so
think.
before we talk about change and transition,
Mm-hmm.
which is a kind of a new year conversation,
Mm-hmm.
some of the things that we will be talking about in the year are essentially the same things we've been talking about in the past.
Well, I don't know.
In a way, I mean, because when you think about it, right, all of us at some point or other within our marriage have dealt with expectations, either unmet expectations or
Mm-hmm.
unspoken expectations.
Mm-hmm.
There's communication,
Mm-hmm.
challenges in communicating, right? Thinking you understand me or you get me, and then finding out that maybe we don't understand each other so clearly. So there's that. Finances. Either we're in agreement or we're not in agreement. We have joint accounts, we have separate accounts, or there's an investment opportunity, or one person is a spender, one person is a saver. So that's always something that comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Children,
Yep.
if you have them, if you don't have them, if you're adopting them, all those things, everything about children. And I promise I'll try not to let kids creep into every conversation this year, but children, that's another one.
If the
And
kids
family.
keep creeping in, I'm kicking them out.
Okay.
Just y'all know that.
So
I'm kicking them out.
children and
Okay.
family. Yeah. Oh,
Maybe-
look.
What?
Yes. Oh.
Lady
Glad
T.
you found us,
What's
Lady
up, Lady
T.
T? Welcome.
So
So
I said finances, I said communication, I said children.
the list is like 50 items long.
It's not.
No, it's like 50.
how to fight fair. No, usually it's all
I know,
around
but
the same.
we have it's like we got a lot of stuff, y'all.
And sex.
So a lot of stuff is coming, but I guess fine. Maybe most of those things even fall into that. I don't know. It's a lot of things. So we'll be this year we'll be talking about a lot of different things, and
And-
we'll be bringing in some friends of ours
Yes.
for certain.
Yeah.
And so it'll be fun. All right.
Yeah. So remember, you brought in who'd you have? You had Curtis.
You don't. I'm not naming names. I had a group of the fellas, the guys.
Oh,
David Tyson
okay.
was there. I say that because he's
Okay,
here.
David
But
Tyson.
I'm not naming names.
Okay. Well, I had Lisa, Ashley, and Pebbles.
Yeah.
Yes, and we had a blast.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. So
So
that's all. All right.
all right.
So-
So what we're not talking about tonight is why Wendy is wearing a Washington Commanders T-shirt.
Well,
So that's what we're not talking about.
Well, it could be because it's a W. There are a few reasons why I'm wearing a Commanders
all
T-shirt.
the W's in the world. And
So
we-
if you know us, you know it's still football season until Sunday. Well, technically. And so we go hard during football season. I mean, we love it. We love the game. We love almost everything about the game, and we have our team. So you guys know, if you know me, you know my team. Well, you should know that I'm a Raiders fan, right? And Mike is formerly a Cowboys fan.
no, it's not formally. Okay, do not mislead the people. It's not formally. All right, just I'm taking sabbatical at this moment. I'm just kind of chilling. I'm pulling back. I'm pulling up. I'm just right.
Yeah. So
it's,
if you,
it's a lot of work, but no, not formally. Okay.
oh, I thought it was official.
Stop it.
So, if you joined us in September, you may have caught one of our episodes where I was talking about my mom and that her team was the Redskins, Washington Redskins, and how I mean, whether it was RFK Stadium or FedEx Field or wherever, she was a diehard Redskins fan. My aunt Lolita is a diehard Redskins fan, and my sister is a diehard Redskins fan. And even though they're not Redskins fans. They're not Redskins anymore. They became the Washington football team, and then it became the Commanders. Anyway,
Okay,
I say all that to say that I was a supporter of the Washington Redskins right around when they won the Super Bowl back in the early 80s, I think it was.
50s, I think it was.
No, in the 80s. I think it was the 80s. And anyway, I say all that to say that At the beginning of this season, Jaden Daniels caught my interest, and I thought, wow, that young man is special for a number of
Oh my
reasons.
goodness. Can we shorten the story,
And he
please?
did not
Because you
disappoint.
give me a
And
headache. You
so,
give me a headache.
so I decided that I was going to now support the Washington Commanders. And today would have been my mother's 77th birthday. And so that is why I am wearing the W.
And that is that and that right there is the only reason why I'm good with it. You know what I'm saying?
And he
I'm
bought
good.
it.
It doesn't mean I bought it. I bought it. That's right. I did. So there you have it.
So there's a long
Just
story short.
because whether or not I like it is irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Yes, if you love it, I love it. So from afar.
Oh
Anyway,
my goodness.
moving
So we
on.
took you way down that rabbit hole. So anyway, that's why
So-
I'm wearing a Commander shirt. You want to tell them why you're wearing your shirt?
Sure. I mean, that's not how I was gonna get into it, but okay.
All right.
It's-
So how are we gonna get into it?
I don't even know now. So I'm just still climbing my way back out of the rabbit hole. But
Oh
look,
my goodness.
but listen, we've teased this, we've kind of thrown it out there a few times, but
Talked
it's
about it a little bit.
it's official that we are in the midst of a major transition. So I'm officially a member, signed on with, employed by, so to speak, Athletes in Action. And if you don't know what Athletes in Action is, basically it's an international ministry whose job it is to help athletes understand how to serve an audience of one. Because oftentimes in athletics, it's all transactional, right? You know, there's always you want to hear the cheering, you want to get the money, you want to right. There's all these people that you're serving, and all these things that you are doing, using that gift for that you have. And so Athletes in Action is really about helping athletes all across the world understand how to serve God through their sport, right? And so specifically, I will be with the pro staff. That is the division or the department, I guess, at AIA that is responsible for covering the professional sports leagues.
Okay.
Right. And so what?
Pause.
Yeah.
Because you said a lot right there.
I know.
I know. So
I'm just trying to give it
kinda
a
sprung
quick.
it on 'em.
I know, but I got to get this out, and then we can pull back and talk about how in the world we got here, because it's crazy.
Yeah, so
crazy.
we kind
So-
of teased that we had a big announcement, and that big announcement is that we will be transitioning eventually into full-time ministry, but right now it's part-time.
Right. Yes. Part time.
Yes.
Officially part time.
Officially part-time staff. And our journey with AIA, it was not by accident. And many of you know, if you've joined us, you know that we speak for Family Life.
Whoa.
What?
I just so right now I said, hey, I'm with AIA, right? So we're gonna get into the specific role later, or what?
No, I am giving a little bit of background and context.
I know, but I want to give him like a whole slice, and then take
Oh
that
my
detour.
goodness. Okay.
Jeez.
Hey, Robert Shepard, Pastor Shepard,
Pastor
always
Shepard, what's
glad
up?
when you join us. Well, I was just saying we speak for Family Life,
Yes.
which is one of the arms of the Crew Ministry. That's all.
What is crew ministry?
Right. What
Right.
is it?
So I'm saying we okay. So look, here it is. I was saying, Athletes in Action. Bottom line is, right now, the role is the official title is like pro chaplaincy coach, right? Our job is to cover the chaplains that are working within that NFL pro staff, that particular division,
Yes, the chaplain couples.
the couples, because they operate as couples, and so our job is to serve them, to just help to strengthen their marriage and whatever it is we can do for them for now. And as that's happening, will be the process is kind of ongoing in terms of when we might be assigned to a particular team. So, what is Athletes in Action? Right?
Yes.
And or should I say, where does that even come from? So a lot of you, particularly if you're old school, you will remember Campus Crusade for Christ,
Mm-hmm.
right? There used to be a lot of commercials for that back in the day.
Mm.
And Campus Crusade for Christ, though, is really a parent organization that has, almost a couple of dozen different divisions that spin off of that. Family Life is one of them, where we go and speak at the Weekend to Remember retreats.
Mm-hmm.
Athletes in Action is another.
Yes.
Right.
And we'll still be speaking at the Weekends to Remember with Family Life.
Oh snap!
I'm just
I heard
throwing
what
that in
you-
there.
Heard what you did with your grammar
Mm-hmm.
at the Weekends to Remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yes. So yeah, that was and so, but the what makes this huge, a couple of things that make it really big. First of all, most of y'all know we retired from the Army, jumped into business,
Yeah.
and May makes 10 years
Yep.
that since we founded our company. And so I had a whole plan and vision about where that was going to go, where we were going to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then about just almost 3 years ago,
Yeah.
got a phone call about asking me to prayerfully consider this idea of being a team chaplain for an NFL team. And I'm like, what? What? Why are you calling me? Like, and I'll put his name out there. You know what? No, I won't.
Okay.
Yeah, I will. Corwin, why'd you call me, man? So he called me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, well, I don't know, maybe. And then the big part was, it's very difficult, probably impossible to run a company full time and to say yes to a ministry like that full time.
Right.
Because when that part happens, we'll go, like when you say it, we'll go from part time to full time, move to the city, live in that city, be with the team, all that stuff, fully integrated.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah, we're
Did
not
you
moving.
just
Calm
kinda-
down. We're not moving yet. Relax.
Yes. So just to clarify that point, because that's one of the questions that we've gotten a lot. Does this mean that we're going to move?
Yes.
And I will just say this, that eventually we will probably have to move. We don't know how long, we don't know where, and we don't know for how long. But we are really in a season of going wherever God tells us to go. Wherever God says we're to be for however long. But the other side of that is, we're virtual. So this platform,
The marriage shop.
we can do the marriage
Check it
shop
out.
from anywhere.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter where we are, or even if we're out of the country. Although when we were in London, that didn't work out too well. But
Well, that's because our Wi-Fi was trash in London.
it wouldn't let us.
We gotta do better
YouTube.
research.
It was like YouTube was blocking us. But
Was it
anyway,
YouTube? Okay.
no, but we're really excited about this. But it is different. It's a different way of existing. It's a different way of serving. And you know our hearts, and God knows our hearts, and so we are excited to be able to serve. Firstly, excited to be able to serve these chaplain couples.
Yeah.
And what they do, because being a chaplain for an NFL team it is the players, it's the staff, it's the wives, it's the girlfriends, significant others of those players. It's all of it encompassing, and being able to minister to them and serve them in a way that helps them be able to do what they do without that weight or burden, right? And so there's so many reasons why ministry is important. We don't have to tell you guys that, but I just wanted to make sure that we conveyed that we're excited about this, although we're like jumping in, and we are stepping out of the boat.
We're stepping out of the boat, and the boat is my comfort zone that I've lived in for so
Yes.
long. And so I didn't necessarily expect to take this big of a leap outside of that comfort zone.
Yeah.
However, God knows, and so we are at peace with it. And but it is completely different way of doing life, right?
Yes.
And so initially, I think I prayed on this thing for months.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, man, okay, God, I don't know, like, what about the money? And what do you mean?
Ooh.
What do you mean, like, chaplain for what? So because ultimately, when you begin to step into people's lives, what you realize is that no matter who they are, no matter what job they hold, how much money they have, or whatever, um, human being problems are not so. The problems we have amongst ourselves, they're not really that different.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not. And so, um, we've seen, people and the types of problems that people have, right? And so, to be a spiritual leader and guide in that, and facilitator in that environment, it is not a light task at all. And
Mm-mm.
so it took months really before, and I needed a clear yes from God, a
Yeah.
clear, unequivocal, like, yeah, I'm talking to you. And man, did he send that?
I
He
mean,
sent it.
you were like that story with the guy who was like stranded, like his boat sunk or something, and he was praying that God would send him, would help him or whatever.
Nah, that
And like somebody came by in the boat and he was like, "No, I'm good. I'm waiting on God." You remember that story?
yeah.
And then somebody came by in a helicopter, and then somebody came by. I mean, it was like all these people came by, and God was like, "Man, I sent you like three people."
No, it's not like that.
It was
Even
kind of
though,
like that.
no, 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 no. If we had to change that story up a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
it was it would be like God sent those people, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, I get it. Yes, thank you. And then the next one comes, and I'm like, okay, God. No, I'm like, send another one because I just want to be sure and right.
Yes.
So it was more um, that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but for something like this,
Mm-hmm.
it required me to just know
Yeah.
without question, right?
Hey, Tara
And so,
Carroll. Oh, sorry. I thought you were done. Hold up,
go
God.
ahead, go
Hey,
ahead.
Tara Carroll. Thanks, Carolyn. Thanks, Lady T. Thanks, Francis Anthony and Kim Aiken. We appreciate
Hmm.
you guys.
Thank y'all.
Your encouragement means a lot to us. And I think that, it is true that because you guys have supported us and prayed for us through this platform, that it made it a little bit easier for us to make this decision.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. No, I was just gonna say, if you want a biblical example, it's Gideon. If you remember the story of Gideon, where
Ooh, wee.
yeah, right, where
That's like,
he
wait a
asked
second.
the Lord, hey, basically, he laid the fleece out and like, Lord, basically make the dew
It's
fall
in
on the fleece and
Judges.
not on the dry
Is
ground.
that Judges or Acts?
Um, Judges
Judges.
maybe. And
Judges.
so
Mm-hmm.
and then the Lord did that, and he's like, okay. Then he's like, okay, well, make the ground wet, but the fleece dry, and all that. That was me, right?
Mm,
And so, like, literally, God sent like people,
yeah.
a one person in particular, to just really kind of bring that whole thing home and say, yeah, this is it. And
Yeah.
then he used the words in my own journal that I had written years ago to really confirm some things. So the answer was yes. And so we've been kind of on a little journey
Mm-hmm.
to begin this process. And so
Yeah.
that's what we're doing, just trying to be radically obedient, right? Because to give up, I mean, understand, to give up life as we've been living it,
Whew.
the idea of that. Now, I must say, Wendy, we went to a couple of meetings early on, and Wendy was like, yeah, you know what? I can see this. And Wendy, she don't really come to that peaceful place all that quick unless it's God. Because Wendy be having questions, man. Like,
Yeah.
and so she was at peace early, but it did take me a while to really kind of get the confirmation and to come to that same level of peace. And so, but we're just trying to um, be just obedient, like to a point that sometimes it's like, wow, why would you
Mm-hmm.
do that? Because God said so. Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
And
So,
and I did have questions
mhm,
initially, and I just wanted to be clear because a lot of people will seek you out for different things, right?
mhm,
People, and I'm not going to say
yes,
it's flattery.
mhm,
I'll just say that, when people say, oh, hey, when are y'all going to do the marriage shop? Where are y'all going to be on? And where, all that stuff.
yeah,
I mean, it's like, okay, that's exciting, but it also comes with a responsibility. And so, if I had any hesitancy initially, it was about the responsibility. And I wanted to be clear that it wasn't just excitement about, oh man, we'll get to, take care of or be affiliated with an NFL team. It wasn't that. It was, wow, the weight, the challenges, the issues, the problems, the things that they go through. We will be sharing that weight. And so, really understanding, taking a sobering look at what the responsibility is, more so than, what it looks like, right? Because we would be like, oh my goodness, this is so, blah, blah, blah. You guys are going to be rich. And
Rich. When is a chaplain rich?
yes.
So,
So we are here to dispel all of those myths.
Well, so no, but I think it's important. Thank you for that. But it's one of the big things about this, and a lot of you are on. We'll be having conversations about this with you directly. But one of the big things about this is that it is support driven. Like AIA, they're in almost 200 countries around 200 countries around the world.
Yeah.
Thousands upon thousands of people in ministry doing missionary type work in all these places.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Crew is in 191 countries. AIA might be somewhat fewer, but nevertheless, the whole machine is run through like donations. These are all missionaries.
Right.
Right. So what AIA produces, what Crew produces are disciples, people who know Christ, and people who create other people who know Christ. That's what they produce. And so all these people are, almost all of them are like on support. They have ministry, partner teams and all that. And so when I learned that part, I'm like, oh God, nah, man, we can't do that.
What does it mean to raise support?
I mean, you're financially. So the team is about financial support and prayer primarily, right? And so raising support is like raising finances so that you can live.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, but not just live, travel.
Yeah. So you can perform all the functions of the ministry.
Courses, yes. And pray and bless other people.
Yep. So so the whole thing is driven by that. And I remember meeting some of the guys who are actually chaplains right now. And we've been, several things over the course of the last few years with them. And, I mean, that kind of helped me to keep going though, because it was just like, hey, it's going to be fine. And most of them are retired players, but they're like, hey, it's going to be fine. Yeah. Like, God's got it. And just give me examples of how it's just miraculous. The generosity of people is crazy.
Yeah. Right? So, and you've heard us say when we, last year when we were raising support or raising funds, which is different than raising support, but raising funds for Alzheimer's Association.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and you heard me say, we totally suck at fundraising and, went through this whole thing. And this is not that. This is not fundraising, right? In that sense. So raising support is really, it's like, your prayers, your support, your thoughts, your letters, and those of you that decide to partner with us and perhaps donate and give us financial support, it has a specific use. We will be we will be sending you letters, and we will be making phone calls, and we will be saying, here's where here's what we were able to do because you supported us. And so don't swipe left.
We have not even had this. Listen,
don't swipe left. So when we call,
we're gonna be calling. So
don't check your spam folders just in case we email you. That's all I'm saying.
But truly, if you want to know like more about what this all looks like, just DM us. Make sure your cell phone number is in there, and we'll link up with you. Yes. But I'm not talking about that right now.
No, we're not talking about that right now.
The journey.
Yes.
Because I think it's guaranteed that there are people on right now, or who will be on the replay, who, man, I made that worse. Who God is asking you to do something,
Yeah.
and you're hesitating, or you are rejecting, or you're running, or what have you. And I get that.
Yeah.
And so if that's you, if you're struggling, reach out to us, and for that as well, because um, I think that God has done some incredible things over this past couple of years, and He's revealed things that He only would have revealed, only could reveal when the answer was yes.
Yeah.
He couldn't deal with me in the hemming and hawing phase. He couldn't deal with me in the, oh God, I'm scared phase.
Lukewarm.
Right. It's like the yes had to be yes and unequivocal.
Yes.
And then boom, He really just began to reveal so much more. And then it made me kind of laugh at the fact that I was stressing about certain things, certain aspects.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because God got us. So.
Well, several years ago in 2017, when you were saying to me, hey, I could use you here in our business, and I had to, really kind of consider what that means to walk away from the federal government. I mean, we both served in the Army. We were federal employees most of our lives, and all of those things were certain and sure, and you could depend on them. There was comfort and there was peace with that. And so, but what got my attention was when I said, I'm out here, I'm sharing with women in particular, but I'm out here and I'm talking about walking in faith, but I'm not willing to do it. And so that was really, the extension of my faith journey, but definitely a huge step towards walking in faith. And, over the years, having to, really kind of confront that and confess that, and understand, I'm able to then say, okay, to other people, do you trust God or not?
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to. I mean, and we wholeheartedly, we know without a doubt that God has us, that we have been purposed for this. And we talked about, what is your marriage purposed for? God has us. We have been purposed in many ways to just care for God's people, specifically marriages and families.
That's true. And if I'm being honest, there are many things that I've tried to run from, and God just kind of, has managed to cut me off in so many ways.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, 30 years plus, Curtis Brown, the other night, and he was just like, basically, like, you've been running. I'm like, nah, man, nah. He began to just kind of run down. He went all the way back to like sophomore year of college, and just began to, he was just kind of laying it out like this and that and this and that. And it's like, it's been clear for a long time. And I'm like, man, shut up, get off my phone, Curtis. And so that was, but it's true, right? And so at some point, y'all, you just got to stop running. But it's a whole lot easier to run, as my man Byron Jackson has indicated in the chat, when you have a wife who is willing to run with you. Man, look, but, Wendy has always been that person. When she knows, she knows. When the Holy Spirit kind of hit her, bam, she just knows, and she is unmovable, right? And so there's a lot of things that, there are people who are fighting their spouse, trying to figure out ministry, trying to figure out their spouse or whatever. And I just thank God that it's not my story right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like a lot of these big things over the years, Wendy has had peace in advance. And at the times when she shouldn't really have had peace, it's like, why are you at peace? What are you talking about? You should be stressed like me right now. I'm running. Come on, run with me. And she's like, nope, I'm good. Okay. And so, I just think she is so dialed in to what God is saying. It's crazy.
It's funny that you say that, because you guys know that we had a hurricane in this area back in, what was that, October. In October. And I was asleep. I mean, I mean, I was at total peace. I was sleeping, and it was like, oh man, it sounds like a train is coming through, and it sounds like our patio furniture is being thrown all around, and all of that stuff. And so I was like, I mean, we're good. We're gonna be good. It's Everything is fine. You might want to go out there and get that patio furniture though.
And
And
I
you went and
did.
you did. And you came back in and you were all drenched and looked like you had been through something. And I was just like at peace. Thanks, Tammy. I was at peace.
Such
And it's like, man, what are we gonna do? All this stuff. And I was like, hey, 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 hey. Remember when Jesus was on the boat with with the
Mm-mm.
fishermen, and everything was tossing and turning, and it was crazy,
Mm-mm.
and they were like, man, where is that guy? And what was he doing? He was asleep.
Sleep. Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, yeah, that is important. And it is a beautiful thing to be in a place where you're not concerned for anything. So that
Yeah.
is all.
And there's so much word to support that. So much.
Yeah.
But
And your sister said, told you.
told you, be quiet, Lisa. Be quiet, Lisa. Get off my feed. So
Yeah.
they and so as we've kind of gone on and everything, it's just like, and even I think every yes that you give to God, like you'll read things that you read over and over again, and they'll just kind of hit you different. You'll get
Yeah.
a different kind of revelation from it. And
Mm-hmm.
this particular verse here, this just really stood out to me because we've done a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But we're going into a different kind of environment, a different kind of situation. And it's easy to get caught up in what you know, what you've done, what your experiences are, and all that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just not about that,
It's not about us.
right? And so First Corinthians chapter 2 this is ESV. It starts off like this. And this just kind of jumped off the page at me. And this is Paul. And I, when I came to you, brothers, did not come proclaiming to you the testimony of God with lofty speech or wisdom. For I decided to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and him crucified. And I was with you in weakness and in fear and much trembling. And my speech and my message were not in plausible words of wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power, so that your faith might not rest in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. Jumped off the page at me, y'all, because what that verse suggests to me is that, it's not about me coming in and knowing everything to say and everything to do and all that. It's about trusting in the power of God and letting God do the work.
Yeah.
I'm the vessel. He's doing the work.
Yeah.
You're the vessel. He's doing the work, right? And so I just, that right there, that gives me peace, a lot of peace. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, and it makes me kind of pause, and I'm asking you to pause and consider, what is it that God has been asking you to do? What is God waiting on you to say yes to? What is it that you know that you've been maybe called to do, but you've been hesitant? Or you know that you've been doing a thing and somehow that thing just doesn't feel right? It, like, something is not settled about it. And you know that there's something better there for you, but you still kind of holding back. What is that for you? And so you don't have to put it in the chat. This is between you and the Lord. But I want to challenge you with that this week, because I think that it's easy to talk about somebody else's journey. It's easy to talk about how things happen and how things unfold. And we could, go through each day, each hour of what it was for us. But I think the real question is, what is it for you? Yeah.
It's a great question, actually.
Mm-hmm.
What I do know is if you don't follow that leaning, that urging, it's very difficult to have peace. You can't have peace,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's a restlessness, and so for all of the training and look, man, I'm like, I don't want to train no more. I'm sick of training.
More
Right?
school.
But like more training, more learning, it never stops.
No.
And so, um, but it's worth it, right? All of that, is worth it because there's a peace, and I can't really explain it, right? But I remember when I had some mentees when this first came up, and I decided the answer was going to be yes. I was kind of sharing it with them, and I remember their initial response. They're just kind of sitting. We're at lunch. They're just sitting across the table, like, "What?
Yeah.
Like, well, why?
Mhm.
Like, why? It's like you're not gonna make a lot of money, no. And so you might have to actually like pick up and leave. And like, do you like your house? I mean, do you like where you are? Yeah, But we had a very interesting conversation. But at the end of that 30 or 45-minute conversation, they had peace. 'Cause they were disturbed at first, like, what's wrong? Let's check him
no.
out. You want to go to the hospital? But yeah, it's just, when you know, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you know, you know. And so, I like that Byron had brought up a good point when he was saying that, when you have the support of your spouse,
Mm-hmm.
how important that is. And one of the things that has been working for us that I think translates in a lot of ways is we've been working out. We've been going to the gym
That's
3 days
true.
a week.
Yeah, since like September.
September. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty incredible.
And that's what we did. We were actually in the gym on January 1st.
That's
That's
right.
crazy.
And as it turns out, that was my first time ever in the gym on New Year's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't know they were even open. But
Yeah, they
as
were
it
open.
as it turns out, all those New Year's resolution folk,
Yeah.
they weren't there yet.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
That
They
joint
were recovering like most people.
it was a ghost town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mentioned that because that's a challenging thing to do. I mean, we have different needs, different schedules, different interests and desires, and being able to come together to do something that benefits us both was a journey for us. And if any of you have tried it or you figured out how to make it work, you know what I'm talking about. And I think it's the same, right? Things are easier when you're together. Things
Yes.
are easier when you're on one accord or equally yoked. You're not fighting against each other, right? You're focused on what it is that how you're going to benefit and who you're going to benefit by doing what you do. So I just wanted to bring that up because if you can do those little things, then you start with something like cooking dinner together. I mean, that's a challenge for a lot of people. Watching whatever shows you want to watch. Coming to a place where you are, not only just suffering through, or just consenting, but you're actually enjoying and living. Those are, accomplishing those little wins are
Yeah.
really important. And then I think if you can show some success with the small things, then the bigger things are just on the horizon.
No doubt. And so yeah, I'm surprised. It's actually, I think it's become a habit. Like the gym has become a habit.
I think it has.
We go to the gym at like when we leave town and stuff.
Yes.
So
Hey,
wow.
Trinice.
Hey, Trinice.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's been pretty incredible. I'm really proud of you. And just because sometimes Wendy is like hitting me like, "Hey, we going?" I'm like,
Are we going? Yeah.
I don't wanna, but we
Yeah,
go.
it's pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
at our age, we have to do it. It's
Mhm.
not optional.
So Michelle Moore Wilson said, "Good evening."
Hey.
Good evening.
She
You're not
said, I
late.
know I'm late.
You're not late. You're
You-
right on time for the end.
Yeah.
So you made it. You
We're
made
glad
it.
you're here.
But what we are going to do, I'm going to be doing a Zoom call right after this to talk a bit more in depth about AIA and what that looks like, kind of what the mission is, and ministry partnership, all that stuff, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to drop that Zoom link in the chat. It'll be there just for a little while. After we have that meeting, I'm gonna go back in and delete it. So, because you leave your Zoom out there for too long, the crazies will find it, and they'll be up in there. So,
All are welcome.
yeah. So I'm gonna put it in there. So y'all more than welcome to come, like 8 o'clock. So we're gonna sign off here, and then we're gonna jump onto Zoom in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're more than welcome to jump on in there.
And
'Cause-
go ahead.
Go ahead.
A couple of things that you can expect from our page, a little bit more interaction. So usually we'll just put out what we're talking about Every now and then we'll post a picture of us somewhere or something, but our primary mode of communicating and staying in touch with you guys will be through the Marriage Shop page, and that is on Facebook and then also through YouTube. And so we will do things like, ask for your prayer requests, and if you want to drop them in there or DM us, we'll be tracking those things. And so look out for that. Check out the page. I'm not going to tag everybody every time because I'm not trying to flood your timeline. But those things will be coming. So you can just stay engaged with us, see what we're doing. And it's like bringing y'all along for the ride.
Yeah. And it's going to be a wild ride. I have no idea. But I do know we'll be in New Orleans this weekend.
Yes.
So
we are going to be
cool
in New
for
Orleans.
a minute. So anyway.
Some Super Bowl festivities.
Super Bowl festivities. All right. So listen, y'all, we're going to get out of here and pray, and then we're going to jump on over to Zoom if anybody wants to join us there.
Yes.
But hey, we love y'all. We thank you so much for your support, your blessing to us. So
yes.
Let's
And
pray.
we missed you.
We did. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight just thanking you. God, thank you for blessing us. Thank you for the time that we've had. And we just ask that at the end of the day, God, your word be what permeates. Your word be what stands when nothing else will. And so we just ask that you bless every couple, every home, every family represented here, God. Help us all to love one another with you love us. Help us to be an example of what your love looks like on this earth, God. So we thank you tonight. We love you. We pray these and all blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So, yeah, we're going to get on out of here. So, is that it? You good?
I think that's it.
Okay. You already know what it is.
See you next Monday.
Let's play that music.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's your boy, JC. I'm in the mood, love, yeah. Lately I've been constantly thinking about the pain. You drive me crazy, yeah. And girl, I want this, got me all up in my feelings. Over the feeling, yeah. I knew the first time I laid eyes on you that you would be here forever. I'm not being arrogant, and I still can't take my eyes off you, 'cause you made me better, so much better. I'm in the mood to love you for a lifetime. I'm in the mood to love you for a lifetime, baby. I love your kindness, I love your confidence. Ooh, you're the finest, so glad you're mine, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't wanna be with nobody else. Give me your love, that's all the wealth I need.